the law of suffering and happiness. Countless sentient beings, driven by the instinct of self-love, all seek happiness and avoid suffering. Even the ants, which seem insignificant in our eyes, also seek happiness every day. However, most sentient beings don't understand the law and root of suffering and happiness. Thus, they cannot embark on the path of genuine happiness. They often go against the right path. They seek happiness, but don't sow the seeds of happiness. They wish to avoid suffering, but continuously create the causes of suffering. How can they be free from suffering and attain happiness in this way? In reality, happiness and suffering are rooted in our minds and the karma we create. Whenever we have kind thoughts, speak kind words, or help others, we feel happy. Whenever we have negative thoughts, say harsh words, or harm others, we feel unhappy and uncomfortable. This is common sense. When you are angry, you must feel uncomfortable. It happens within us in the here and now. However, the scope of suffering and happiness extends far beyond this. All feelings that please the mind are called happiness, and all feelings that displease the mind are called suffering. This includes feelings arising from external circumstances, the body, and the mind, occurring everywhere in the past, present, and future. In terms of the root of all suffering and happiness, enlightened beings have a much more profound and thorough insight than us. Countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have realized an eternal law that applies to everything in the universe without exception. In the great treatise on the stages of the path to enlightenment, Lama Tsongkhapa summarized this law as follows. Whether ordinary or enlightened beings, all the happiness experienced in their body and mind, even the slightest comfort of a cool breeze felt by hell beings, are results of their past positive karma. Negative karma never yields happiness. On the other hand, all the sufferings experienced by beings, including arhats, result from their past negative karma. Positive karma never yields suffering. Furthermore, there are various types of happiness and suffering. They arise from the corresponding positive or negative karma, without error. The Buddha, with his omniscient wisdom, directly saw the causes and conditions of all phenomena. Regarding the various types of suffering and happiness in the human realm, the Buddha once taught, the noble status of kings and elders is the result of showing reverence to the three jewels. Wealth is the result of giving. Longevity and good health are the result of upholding precepts. Good appearance and fair skin are the result of practicing patience. Those who harbour a lot of resentment won't have fair skin. Anger is toxic. Therefore, if you have poor skin and don't look good, it may be an indication that you are prone to harbouring vexations, resentment, and anger, and you tend to complain. That's why it is said, good appearance and fair skin are the result of practicing patience. Being joyful in cultivating virtues is the result of practicing diligence. Being calm and mindful in speech and behaviour is the result of practicing concentration. Being insightful is the result of practicing wisdom. Moreover, having a clear and pleasant voice is the result of singing praises to the three jewels. Having a pure body and mind free from illness and pain is the result of practicing loving kindness. Please watch your mind carefully. How much time is your mind in a state of loving kindness, radiating loving light? If your mind is in a state of loving kindness, you should be aware of it. As soon as the slightest resentment or criticism arises in your mind, you will immediately become afflicted. When you dwell on others' faults, you may say, "I don't have afflictions. I just noticed someone's faults." In reality, you are caught up in afflictions. Once you see someone's faults and feel dissatisfied, you already generate an aversion. That is an affliction, a negative state of mind, not a positive one. Being a slave is the karmic result of not repaying debts or not respecting the three jewels. Having an ugly and dark appearance is the karmic result of blocking the Buddha's light. Having a short stature is the karmic result of belittling others. Being ignorant is the karmic result of not seeking knowledge. Being narrow-minded is the karmic result of not teaching others. Being mute is the karmic result of slandering others. Being deaf or blind is the karmic result of not listening to the dharma. Being afflicted with sores is the karmic result of whipping others. Being imprisoned or bound is the karmic result of imprisoning others. If one confines or binds others, one will experience this karmic consequence. Having a cleft lip is the karmic result of catching fish with a hook in the past life. Look at how someone's mouth looks, and you will know whether they have created negative verbal karma. How does your mouth look? How are your teeth? Do you have a cleft lip? These are all karmic results of verbal karma. We should be mindful of our actions and have a sense of shame. In the age of dharma decline, lacking a sense of shame will lead to trouble. We are all sinful. Whether you are a monastic or a lay practitioner, don't be arrogant and don't belittle others. Some people with a little bit of merits tend to look down on others. They are very arrogant but unaware of it. Therefore, from the beings in the lowest hell to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout the boundless time and space, there are various forms of suffering and happiness. Every suffering is caused by the corresponding negative karma, and every happiness is caused by the corresponding positive karma. Each karmic cause will accurately give rise to its result without error or disorder. For example, engaging in virtuous actions won't lead to suffering, and committing evil actions won't bring about happiness. Furthermore, among virtuous actions, giving is not the root cause of beauty, and upholding precepts is not the root cause of wealth. Therefore, everything in the world follows the law of suffering and happiness without exception. Giving can make you wealthy, which is easy to understand. Upholding precepts can make you healthy and free from illness. Cause and effect are closely related. Look at your physical condition, and you will know how well you uphold the precepts. It is an eternal and universal law in the conventional reality. Therefore, all codes of ethics, all teachings of sages, and all endeavours toward the perfect enlightenment are based on it. Otherwise, all worldly virtues and all transcendental liberation would become empty talk, and the sacrifices of martyrs and the loyalty of virtuous women would become outdated and meaningless. If we have a firm understanding of this law, we will clearly comprehend good and evil, suffering and happiness. We will strive to be virtuous in all our thoughts, words and actions. Therefore, as Lama Tsongkhapa said, for Buddhist practitioners, having an unwavering understanding of the infallible law of cause and effect is the foundation of all right views and positive actions. It is the foundation of all right views for Buddhist practitioners. This means that to cultivate other right views, it is essential to firmly believe in the law of cause and effect. Therefore, as practitioners, it is crucial to cultivate the right view of causality. The Mirror of Causality explains it quite well. No matter how long you have been learning the Buddha's teachings, cultivating the right view of causality is very helpful to your practice. Of course, all karma depends on intention. When doing the same good deed, the result is directly related to your intention. Virtue doesn't lie in actions or words, but in the mind. Sometimes you may scold others, but your intention might be great compassion. Conversely, sometimes you may praise someone with sweet words like, "You are great," but your intention may be evil, seeking to harm them. You aim to make them arrogant and destroy them. Thus, you often praise them, making them arrogant and eventually destroying them. Therefore, don't praise others casually. Instead, praise others truthfully. If you insincerely praise others with empty words, making them gain false fame, you will receive the same karmic consequence. You will also have an empty reputation. When others praise you, it may be insincere or even driven by jealousy. When they envy you, they might praise you. Unlike those who criticize your faults out of jealousy, cunning individuals will praise you. Once you start to make mistakes, they will achieve their ulterior motives. Therefore, praise can easily destroy a person. No matter how great you are, unless you are an enlightened being, you cannot withstand praise. Many so-called great individuals start to make grave mistakes when praised by others and are destroyed. Only enlightened beings can introspect and remain mindful. They won't be intoxicated by praise. Ordinary beings cannot withstand praise. So, if someone praises you, you have to be careful. Don't get carried away or assume that they have good intentions. We should maintain an objective attitude. If someone praises and rejoices in us, they may sincerely do so for the sake of promoting the dharma. Don't overpraise others. If someone has 10 units of virtue, it's enough to praise 1 or 2 units. Don't exaggerate. Just praise 1 or 2 units to let others know. Don't overpraise others. If someone has 10 units of virtue and you praise 100 units, that is not right. It is enough to praise 3 to 5 units. The purpose of your praise is to encourage others to learn from them and cultivate virtues. The message you want to convey is that good actions yield good results. This kind of praise is well-intentioned. Ordinary beings are often ignorant and unable to discern the true intentions behind others' harsh or kind words. Hence, they tend to misunderstand things. All karmic causes and results arise from the mind and are closely related to the intention. Don't simply think, just do virtuous deeds. The definition of virtue matters a great deal. Furthermore, there are many levels of virtue, and different levels of virtue will bring about different karmic results. That's all for today's teachings.